Right, yo guys, what's going on? It's you and MED, and I'm coming at you with another. Is it another? Have I done a tier list video before? Give me a sec. I probably have, to be honest. Anything internet-wise, I think I've done. But anyway, I'm going to be ranking the Star Wars films, and to get first things first, right? These are my opinions, and I know a lot of people are going to disagree with my opinion especially on a couple. Especially on a few. I know you're going to disagree, and I couldn't really care less, to be honest. If you disagree, tell me you disagree. Okay. If you want to call me stupid for putting The Last Jedi in S, you call me stupid. Okay, that's not how this is going to go. It's not going in S for a start. Let's clarify that right now, because I know it's a shit film. Excuse the language. My bad. Anyway, we're going to just get straight into it. I've put them all in order at the bottom of the screen, so you know which one. Well, we should know which one's first anyway. So we'll start with The Phantom Menace. It's a torrid film, right? There's two good scenes: the pod race, and then Maul, Qui-Gon, and Obi-Wan at the end. Does it go C or D? I'm going to put it in C for now, but it might move. Attack of the Clones. It's overrated in my opinion. I think it's a good film, but I don't think it's as good as people say. It's a B. It's a B. It's not a great film. It's okay, but there's not that many good scenes. I mean, Dooku at the end is good. Why can I not remember the name of the thing? The what's it called? The bit where Padme, Anakin, and Obi-Wan get captured, and then they're in the Colosseum. That's a good part, but beyond that, really, it's mostly just a whining child being an absolute pagan, to be honest with you. And I know that's gonna piss a lot of people off, but I don't care, because this is my opinion, and I just think it's a very overrated film. As do I think the next one is Revenge of the Sith, a very good film. Right, sets it up perfectly. I'm going to put it in A. It is not an S tier film for me. Are there some good scenes? Yes, Obi-Wan and Grievous. Anakin and Obi-Wan. I don't want to say Anakin slaughtering children, but it's kind of a good scene. There's a lot to go for in this film, but I still think people who think this is an S rated as a perfect film, in my opinion, you're wrong, right? But the issue is, right, with the Star Wars fandom, when I was growing up, so what, 2008, 9, everyone was like, nah, the prequels are shocking, man. They are terrible sets of films. They are awful. Now everyone does it to the sequels, and the prequels are suddenly the best thing in the world. It's not. Most of the fandom are just sheep. You just see somebody put, oh, Revenge of the Sith is the best film ever, and then go with it. Revenge of the Sith is the worst film ever. You go with it. If it's somebody popular and they put it, you agree with it, and I don't like that, which is why my opinions will not be liked here. But I don't care. But it's what I don't like, how this is how this fandom goes. Everybody just sort of, like, when I was growing up, I don't get me wrong, loved the prequels when I was growing up, but people were taking the piss out of me because I liked the prequels. I was like, hang on, mate, they're a solid film, right? I grow up, and then everyone's like, oh, the prequels are sick. Why did I get told for like 6 years of my life, oh mate, why are you fans of the fucking prequels? Are you stupid? Are you stupid? Mate, you're the stupid one. You're the one who sheeps around everyone. Shut the fuck up and go back to bed, right? We'll move on. I've rant over. By the way, my voice is terrible. I stayed up till 4 o'clock, and I woke up at 9 because I was watching Royal Rumble. But anyway, right, Solo, no, terrible, absolutely terrible, unneeded, terrible film. Kira, don't like her. The best thing in this film is the outfits in the Corellia escape, and the only reason I like that part is because, one, they look cool, and two, it's on Battlefront. If it wasn't for that, we wouldn't have it on Battlefront. It's still a terrible, terrible film. It's not needed. Nobody asked for it. We all thought, it's decent. It could be decent. No, it's awful. It's one of the worst ones out of the bunch. Whether it's the worst one, I do not know. But it is a terrible, terrible film. There is nothing. It offers very little to the actual story. We didn't need it in the first place. We didn't. I don't remember anybody really wanting it in the first place. I would have preferred a Boba Fett story over Solo, and then it's just a massive pile of dog. Rogue One, class film. Class film. Is it an S tier film? Probably not. It does introduce a lot into the universe, and it gives us a lot of insight on how the rebellion got the plans and all the sacrifices made. And it does introduce K2. Is it K2SO? Oh, I'm actually questioning this. I'm 90% sure it's K2SO, but he is one of my favorite droids in the Star Wars universe. And yeah, I've just find him funny. Jin, very well-rounded character, very good storyline, good depth. You understand what you need to in one film. Pretty heartbreaking how they all die at the end, but I guess he kind of had to. But or did she die? No, she died. She died. Introduces it's not Calrissian. Oh my god. I haven't watched this film since like last May the 4th. What was the name of the guy? He's got a series coming out. Not Calrissian. Boom, ba boom, boom. Ando or something. It's not Ando. Why am I getting Ando from? Give me a second. Let me just Google this. Why am I having to Google this? Don't know. Probably because I'm a stupid child. Here's we know it's part of the story. He's literally got a series coming out. Cassian Andor, that's the ticket. Cassian Andor, well-developed character. I'm sorry that you had to. Now everyone's going to be like, "Oh, mate, nobody cares about your opinions no more. You don't know him." That's a bit unfair. I just don't watch. I watch the films once every year, on May the 4th and 5th and 6th, because I can't squeeze them all into one day because I have school and a life. Actually, I don't have a life. I lie about that. I just have school. But yeah, Rogue One. It's a very good film. You can't really argue with it being an A. Is it as good as Revenge of the Sith? Probably not. It's probably best on par, but it's still a very, very good film. On to A New Hope. The originals are the originals. Like, you can't disrespect the originals. The original is the best trilogy out of the three trilogies. For what reasons? Consistency. The prequels had Phantom Menace, and then Attack of the Clones, and then Revenge of the Sith. Yes, they got better, but you've still put in a terrible film in there. The sequels will come to later, and I'll describe what things there. But A New Hope, it's average. It introduces you to the characters. It's decent. I wouldn't say it's bad, but it's not really good. It's a middle of the pack. It's just middle of the pack. There's not much to say about it, really, is there? You know the plot. He goes and rescues the princess, Death Star, and it gets blown up, and that's pretty much it. Now, The Empire Strikes Back, best film. If you question that, I don't understand how you can question that. First of all, you've got the dark side winning, which isn't something you see in most films, and it was like the first film to do that. It's sort of the first film to go away from this sort of line of just the good guys win every time, and it made something new. It's exciting. Then you've got Vader versus Luke at the end. You get the iconic quote of Luke and Vader, with Vader saying he's his father. Empire Strikes Back. You meet Lando Calrissian. You explore multiple different planets. You see Hoth, which is one of the not prettiest, which is a very nice looking planet, and you get to see the rebel base and them evacuating, and it's action all throughout the film. There's very few bits where you just sort of sat there like, can we have something happen? Because the film is it's a superb film. There's nothing you can really argue about it. It's a superb film. It's got good development, good plot, and it's that different factor which makes it that best film, which makes it one of the better films in film history. Because it's like Infinity War. Infinity War was one of the best films ever because Thanos won. Okay, if Thanos doesn't win that, well, it's not the fact he did win, but if Thanos didn't win that, you'd still probably have seen it. No, it would get less hype if Thanos didn't win it. But I don't understand why directors don't go further down this route of let the bad guys win. I know because it makes them money and it's fun. It's quality to watch. Infinity War, Empire Strikes Back. Infinity War probably better than Endgame because that factor again. It's just different. It's something we don't often see, and it's something different to watch, which is enjoyable. Right, so we move on to Return of the Jedi. It's middle. It's probably slightly overrated because it's sort of the end of the originals, but it's not. It's not much great. You start off in Jabba's palace. Jabba's just a weird character. I've never been the biggest fan. He kind of makes me a bit sick, but whatever. Then you do get the new lightsaber. I think this film would have been a bit better if they kept in that lightsaber scene. Was that in this film or was that added in Empire Strikes Back? I'm pretty sure it would have been Return of the Jedi, but I would have been intrigued to see Luke building his new lightsaber. Would have been something different. And of course, they travel to Endor, and a bit of stuff goes down. They meet the Ewoks, which are probably overrated creatures in the universe. But I'm not saying I don't like them. Just a bit. I know a lot of people say they're like the best things ever. I don't think they are. They are just weird. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong at all. I do like them, but it's just nothing. Then you got Luke sacrificing himself to Vader to try and turn him back. The film doesn't. The film's kind of slow paced. Is it? It's not really slow paced. It's not the word I'm looking for. It fluctuates with its. It fluctuates quickly. Like you've got. It starts off pretty slow. That's what you expect from the film. You're not expecting the film to go start with a lightsaber duel, which I understand. So you got 3PO and R2 going to see Jabba the Hutt and trying to reason with him to give him back Han, and then Leia goes. She gets captured. She then gets put in a bikini. That's a very important part. Then you got then it's sort of then they get taken out to the Rancor pit. My names are really off point today. There's not a rank, and Luke fights off the Rancor, and then you go to the Sarlacc pit. So it sort of builds up slowly with its sort of like it sort of escalates with Luke beating up defeating the Sarlacc. So you get a bit of action there. Then it doesn't really mellow out from there. It sort of goes straight up, and Luke gets his new lightsaber, and they fight. They get their way out of the Sarlacc pit and away before Boba Fett falls in. Then you sort of drop out for a solid like 45 minutes. You sort of just drop into like you just sort of end. They just discuss a bunch of things and then end up on Endor, and then just don't get me wrong, the ending is great, right? I do enjoy the ending where you've got Palpatine, Luke, and Vader, but it's not great, is it? It's not a great film. It's just yeah, as I'm showing middle of the pack. It's just when they're on Endor, they don't do much. They don't do that much on Endor. They get the speeders, then they spend about 20 minutes with the Ewoks, and then you try and take over the base, and then you get stopped, and then you do it, and it's a bit weird. Right, The Force Awakens, I don't know where to put this. It's not going in C or D, so you can sort off. B or A, I do really like it as a film, but it's got to do. The thing is, people don't like it But what do you expect from it? It's got to introduce these new characters. Oh, it's too slow paced. You've got to introduce the characters. You can't just go in. You start off at a quick pace as well. Like, is it better than Return of the Jedi though? I think it did a better job of introducing its characters than A New Hope did. It sort of leaves you with that sort of mystery vibe as well. You know what? Yeah, it may get moved later, but I'm going to move it up into A. I do like the film. It's it's probably the best out of the sequels. You could argue that. You got at the start, you start off on Jakku. You get the Poe feeding the droid, and then it sort of mellows out for a solid 25-30 minutes after Finn. After you see FN 2187 doing whatever he's doing, you see him just sort of discovering what the First Order actually is, and then Poe's escape. Then you go to Rey on Jakku, which by the way, I think this film has some of the best music in the Star Wars universe, especially the scavenger theme and the Jedi steps at the end. I love the Jedi steps one. But if you go to like this is it sort of jumps. You get to see Han and Chewie back together, and you get to see everything Millennium Falcon. You get to see them sort of. It does a good job. It does a better job than people give it credit for. It does a good job of introducing the characters. Like, you're not that confused when you see Poe, but you understand it to start the film. You're not gonna know what Poe does. Then you see Kylo, and then you see the cracked lightsaber, which is one of the better ones. Yeah, get angry. Then you see like them on Takodana, which isn't the best of scenes. Then you get Han shooting Chewie's blaster, which is quite a good scene. I like that scene. But then it sort of fades away. Rey gets captured. Blah blah blah. And it's like a dry period of them just coming up with a plan to get rid of Starkiller. Then you decide. I can't remember the next part. But then, yeah, then you get everyone off, and then you've got the forest scene. It's quite underrated. Not the biggest fan of how it ended, and I know people were like, "Nah, man, Ray shouldn't be beating Ren because she's never been trained with the lightsaber." A staff, I don't want to say it's similar to a lightsaber because it isn't, but in a way it is. Like, she's not gonna not know. She's trained. She's defended herself her entire life. I know Ren is this all-powerful person with the Force, but what he senses in her, he didn't want to kill her. He wanted to turn her because he knew she could be more powerful. But most people just don't really clock that. And then the path splits after she beats him, and she sort of fades away. She didn't really. She did beat him, yeah, and then fades away, and then you go to Luke on Acto, which I think is I don't want to say the best planet, but it's the prettiest planet in the Star Wars universe. Right, on to The Last Jedi. It's awful. There's again. Is it worse than? Is it as level with Phantom Menace? Is it as bad as Solo? Um, I don't want to say it's as bad as Solo. It's not as good as Phantom Menace. I'll give it that. Right, it's definitely in between. If there was like a tier in between, it'd go in that. But it's just not a good film. There's very little action. The best part is when you've got Rey and Kylo in the chambers, and they fight off all the guards. That's a cool scene, I guess. But beyond that, not much happens. You get Luke milking whatever the fuck it is. It's not a good film. It really isn't. It's just waffling. It's 90% waffling. Then you get fucking Luke fighting Kylo, and that doesn't really do anything. And then they just run away. You know what? It's a top end of the D tier. Rise of Skywalker. I've only watched this twice so far. I don't know where to put it. I like it. I know nobody else likes it, but you know what? I want to push Return of the Jedi up a bit. I'm gonna put Return of the Jedi up a bit, and then I think I want to go that in A tier as well. I don't know. It's a different film. It's sort of weird. It's not. It's no. It's a B tier film. It's good, but it's not. Uh, I don't really know how to explain my feelings on this one. I like it, but it's just a bit meh. They could have done more with it, but in fairness, to them, they could have done a hell of a lot less. It's an average film. It's not. It's nothing special. And again, it's more. The issue is the weak duels you have. You've got Rey fighting Kylo in the in. I don't want to call it an ocean, but it is kind of an ocean. You got them fighting there, and then Kylo decides to fall to the floor because his mum died, and then you just don't really. You just struggle with it, don't you? Realistically, it's just not much. Nothing special. Pardon me. There's just nothing special happens in this film. If you've seen what if they'd have done what I think they were originally planning in getting everyone, all the past Jedi, to sort of come out of their, just like fight actually alongside Rey instead of just having their voices. I think this film could then be pushed up towards a lot closer to A tier, maybe even in it. But I don't think so. Rey and Ren fighting Palpatine. It's okay. It's not a like ridiculously good scene. And you got the scene at the end, which I think everybody just. I don't get why everybody doesn't like it. Like, why have you got? I'm sorry. What's wrong with her taking her name? If she says she's a Palpatine, the odds are that woman's gonna like whip out some like transform and just knock the shit out of her. But it's just sort of relax, man. It's a name. I could literally go down to the fucking council house now and go, I want to change my name to Skywalker. Just let her be, man. What? I don't get what everybody's issue is with Rey. I see very few issues with Rey. I don't understand. I don't even see people giving reasons. They just go, ugh, Rey. Like, what is wrong with her? I don't see anything wrong with her. I don't think she's a bad actress. She's a good actress. She fits the role, and I like it. So that's pretty much it. To be honest, it was. I don't know if I explained things very well, but yeah. Tell me what you. I'm assuming you will disagree with my Rise of Skywalker and the Force Awakens one, but tell me, and probably Revenge of the Sith, and probably Rogue One, and probably Clone Attack of the Clones. But you know what? Yeah, Lee, tell me what you would have done in the comments. Tell me which ones you would have moved around, and then yeah, I guess that's it. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. Don't don't get too angry. As I said, it is my personal opinion. It's my personal views on the films, not how you have to. I'm not saying, hey, you should put Revenge of the Sith as in A tier, and it's definitely Revenge of the Sith is not the greatest film. You know what? Revenge of the Sith down in D tier. No, I'm not saying that's what you should do. I'm not trying to force my opinions. I'm just saying my opinions, and that's pretty much it, really. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Peace.